Today we're going to demo the Fiona SSS Turbo guitar, the best Strat you'll find. All right, so today I have with me a tremendous guitar player, Adam Ray. Adam Ray, 47 years playing professionally.
Oh, yeah.
You don't look that old.
Oh, well, you ought to see me in the morning.
But it's a pleasure to have him here. He's very diverse stylistically. He's been in the Denver area since 1991, and he's been working with the band The Long Run, an Eagles tribute band. For how long has that been?
We did our 10th anniversary show in 2019 at the Paramount Theater. So, gosh, 12 years now?
Wow,
Holy
and
cow,
they do like 70 some shows a year?
Average.
Average.
70. And even in these weird times, we've got 50 on the books right now. So, you know, I'm blessed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So, incredible guitar player, and he's going to demonstrate for you all the ins and outs of Fiona and the different functionalities and the sounds. We're after the tones. At the end, if you're into any of the specifications, then I'm going to add those at the end. If you just want to hear what it sounds like, you get it front loaded. So here we go. Hit it off, Adam.
Well, I just want to say that I've been playing this guitar just a little bit this afternoon, trying to get in touch with it. So hopefully I can give you some of the things that it does, but it's a very solid guitar. There's a great feel between my fingers and what I'm doing. And obviously, as Steve will tell you in a short while, my gosh, the thing has, you can go for days and not exhaust the possibilities tonally on this thing. So. I really like this 10-way switch. It's a 10-way switch. Steve will tell you more about it, but now we're going to flick it up, and it goes through some series parallel type things, some great tones in there. Oh, and the tremolo is very traditional feeling. It floats, stays in tune, and it sounds really cool. get into a little boost section of this one. It's got, what has it got, like, you said 12?
30 decibels of boost.
All right, so it is, let's see, probably like that. It's got its own little kind of blower switch to activate that. And this is, now here, you're gonna hear a little bit of tonal change and not a lot of gain yet. And then we're gonna turn. Gooses it just enough and it feels really good. But then, you know, we can. Give it some rock and roll, baby. And that's all just same amp settings and everything. Can you imagine on the bandstand doing that? You just kind of stand there looking cool and just turn a knob and you're rocking, man. Who needs a distortion pedal? Yeah, and then, you know, you can use it as blower switch, you know, your nice little rhythm sounds. I want a solo. Very versatile. It'd be a killer live studio guitar. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, this
Tone?
the tone. Yeah, now you said if we put it up in that way, it's a little better sounding. So this is a very subtle thing. Now there's the standard, but now we bring that in. Kind of glasses it out a little bit, but in a very warm sort of way to my ear. And then it starts adding a little bit more low end, almost acoustic quality in a way.
Yeah,
you
I've heard that
know. Let's see. Do I know any acoustic stuff? Or not? That's all I know. I'm not a certified guitar player. Sorry, Chet. But yeah, it does imbue a kind of a really cool, clean, acoustic-y kind of thing. Super versatile. And beautiful finish. Look at this. I mean,
Candy apple red.
Candy apple red. Very, very traditional. It's very warm. I love
The pick guard?
Yes.
Yeah, this is carbon fiber, but it's actually carbon fiber and Kevlar weaved together. The Kevlar is dyeable.
Whoa.
So that's what gives it the color.
Interesting.
And I'll show some close-up pictures in the video so you can see what this color is doing.
And so it just fills in the gaps outside of the carbon fiber stuff.
Yeah, and it's done that way at the factory. So there's a handful of colors that you can purchase, and this red just happens to blend beautifully with the candy apple red finish.
And depending on where you're playing, Kevlar, it could keep you safe.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Some rough places out there.
Well, I tell you, man, you can't be too safe nowadays. And, you know, the matching headstock is obviously I think, just a killer touch, no matter what. Oh, I got to show you this, man. Look at that flame on that neck.
Yeah.
That is something else. And speaking of the neck, what's the width?
The width is standard 1/11/16.
Yeah. Well, that feels totally normal and good, and it's a thinner profile.
About 20.5 millimeters is the thickness at the first fret.
But what I like about it is the edges don't all of a sudden go sharp into that curve. Mm-hmm. You can get your hands around it, and it feels very comfortable for my hands, for sure. And all the way up, and the way it's finished, so smooth. Mm-hmm. You know, with that cutaway bout, you can really get up. How sweet that tone is in that. I think that's the outside.
That's actually all three in parallel.
Well, listen to that, man. Very emotive, man, very emotive. There's like the kind of standard squawky Strat part. Again, and one of the cool things, a lot of times you play guitars, and up here it just doesn't feel quite right or sound quite right. Listen to how that rings out, even on these bass note strings high up in the neck. Ah, sweet, sweet. Could play this thing for days. I like the simplicity of these tuners.
Mm-hmm. They're the hip shot, open back locking tuners with an 18:1 gear ratio, which is what my preference is.
Fantastic. I wish the rear end of my old Ford van had that kind of gear ratio. Tremolo, again, it's just very responsive. And I'm not good at this, but you can even get that warble like Jeff Beck does. So good. But man, I don't know. I mean, good job, brother.
Thank you.
Let's crank up the distortion on the amp, and we'll get some solo tones happening. Obviously, you heard what it did with just the boost.
Yeah.
And that could be totally usable in a lot of different situations, classic rock, whatever. This is kind of a tweed profile. Let's see what I got. God, I could play that for days, man. It rings true. All those harmonics are lining up with the distortion. You can hear the articulation of the stuff too, which is really one of those things that really does it for me.
Yeah.
And anytime you get to play a little Joe. Oh, it sounds good. It feels good too. And again, we talked about amps and stuff, and sometimes, this just has a connectivity, I think, that anybody who picks this up is going to just enjoy. It's a solid feel. Very cool. That's a nice little distortion sound. Here's like an over-the-top kind of Marshall thing, if you're getting into some of the big solo tones. One of the things I like is that solo that I get to play in one of these nights, you know. I gotta stop right there because you can get those pinch harmonics very easily. And again, now that we've got a saturated tone here, but
Right.
everything's ringing like through.
Yeah.
The articulation is just
You want
just
to stack
incredible.
that boost on top of that. don't
Let's
you?
give it a shot. Yeah, that's already in great territory. Hold Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It feels great. Sounds good. Man. See ya. I'm going home with this.
You're starting to get a little bit of that feedback. That's the other beautiful thing about that boost. If you want feedback and play the feedback with the gain knob right on the guitar, you have total control of that feedback level.
Staying for days, man. '80s metal, man.
That is so awesome.
It's sweet, man. Sweet.
Yeah. All right. So for the nerdy guys out there, okay, and I say that affectionately, okay, because I'm one of them. There you go. I'll talk you through some of the different things that's built in this guitar because there is more than you'll find, I think, anywhere else that I know of, okay? And when I opened up the intro, I said the best Strat, you know, whatever. What did I say? Best Strat ever. So there's features in this guitar that are just unusual, and let me just kind of walk through. Obviously, the candy apple red is striking. The carbon fiber Kevlar pickguard, it is very modern look to a very vintage and classic, you know, shaped instrument for sure. But we're starting off. I mean, you heard the tremolo going crazy. This is a hip shot contour trem, very high quality tremolo 2-point action. Pivot point on it. It stays in tune nicely. I also got the hip shot locking tuners, which I mentioned previously on there, which are a perfect match to the tremolo system. We've got Rio Grande Dual Calibrated Strat pickup set. So they're actually, the pole pieces you'll see get larger as they get closer to the bridge, and they're designed to level out the tonal qualities of them and take advantage of those different positions in a very unique way. I love the dual calibrated set from Rio Grande. So we have that on there. Of course, we have the Maximum Guitar Works, what I call the BTS knobs on there, which are kind of their top hat shaped, but they have an hourglass to them. So when you're using these push-pull knobs, easy.
If I may, you know, because I do shows all the time and I need to be able to grab some stuff, I put a set of these on one of my guitars I use live, and not only aesthetically are they great, but they're easy to grab onto, and with the little rubber insert, which you can get in different colors to match your guitar, there's no problem grabbing hold of them. I can't wait to use those on a couple of my other guitars, man.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I know a lot of people use it for like volume swells.
Yeah.
You know, really good positive
And
grip.
It grips, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you're not slipping or having to struggle to pull that thing out. It's there for you.
Yeah. So coming up from there, we have a very traditional volume pot. They're CTS pots, high quality US made. Also, on the volume pot itself, there is a variable treble bleed behind the hood. So if you stylistically like your volume when rolled off to get a little darker tone, that's what it will do for you. If you want it to be more transparent, which is how I currently have it set,
Sure, yeah.
then that's what it'll do for you. So it's totally user adjustable with a little tiny screwdriver, jeweler's screwdriver from the back side will adjust that. On the tone knob, it is a dual high pass, low pass. Okay, so low pass is traditional, right? We take it, we turn it off, it gets a little darker, a little warmer tone to it. It still does that, very traditional. But like Adam was demonstrating, you pull it up, especially when you're in maybe the series humbucker modes on some of these pickup combinations, and you roll that off, it removes some of the low frequencies in order to get that shape. And how did you describe it?
It adds a bit of glass, I think is how I described it.
Yeah.
But not in a ice picky way, and you'll understand what that
Yeah.
means if any of you played some tellies, you know, and
Yeah.
stuff. So
clarity, especially in like those series modes and stuff like that, is really nice. So now this knob is strictly gain. 0 to 30 decibels of gain structure only happens when you turn on the boost circuitry, and when it's plugged in, the light comes on. The light is also used as a battery strength indicator. You can tell when it will last a long, long time, but you'll be able to tell when it starts, you know, kind of losing a little bit of voltage, and that's a good time on your next string change. Pull up the pick guard, and it's right in the cavity behind it, really easy to get to. The pickup selector that Adam was working through is a 10-way selector. When it's in the down mode, just like the tone pot, when it's down, it's conventional. You got the standard Strat five-way selector. When it's clicked in the up position, the upper bank, you have 5 more, and the odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5, are series, so they're humbucker type tones. And when you're in the tweener positions, you have all 3 in parallel, and you have the outer 2 in parallel, which are 2 options you don't normally get on a standard 5-way selector. So again, more options. You combine those options with the tonal options, with the boost options. I mean, this is what makes it unbelievably versatile.
totally. And if I may address that, you know, you players out there, you know, you may be used to a 3-way switch, you don't have to think about it, or even a 5-way standard Strat. But if you are like me and adventurous and looking, you know, for a myriad of tones, don't be afraid of that, because you know, you'll probably find your meat and potatoes tones, but you will be able to do anything you want, whether you're in the studio, whether you're in the live, whether you're playing in a cover band or doing all originals. So don't be daunted by that. I look at that as opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, tonal opportunity. So
yeah, and that's really it. If you the nerdy side of me, you know, likes the experimentation and finding and tweaking, and if you love that kind of stuff, I mean, the combination of these features is going to be unbelievable for you, for sure.
yeah, don't be scared, man.
All right, traveling up, we've got an embedded spoke wheel truss rod.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a cool thing there. I wasn't a fan of the notch out. I like the truss rod being a spoke wheel because I don't like it in the headstock adjustment from both a practicality of how hard it is to get to, but also that it weakens that area of the neck up there. And so I want to leave as much meat as possible on the guitar neck for the strength of that.
Which obviously can translate to tone too, you know, certainly.
Yeah, so that's what I do on that. I've also got synthetic opal with a nice iridescent effect, and it kind of picks up a rainbow of colors in there, so it ties nicely to almost any color you want to put on the guitar. I have those custom manufactured for me. The Neckwood looks like maybe ebony from this video, but it is actually an African species called Wenge. It looks like Wenge, you know, if we were to see it spelled out, but it's pronounced Wenge, and it's a very interesting wood. It's a good tone wood. It's got dark browns and almost black grain into it, and once you oil it up, it gets smooth and nice and almost ebony-like in its appearance. So a beautiful wood there. I'm using a natural bone nut. I like the natural bone nuts. I'd use tusks sometimes, but on this one, the bleached white bone ties in stylistically with the guitar nicely, and it just works. I do have the strap locks from Dunlop on here, so
like those.
playing live, obviously it's a good...
All my guitars have them.
Yep. If you just want to throw a standard strap on there at some point in time, then, I mean, you can still do it. So you're not locked in to... locked.
I get it.
So... All right, let's go around back before I embarrass myself too much here. We've got the curly maple, the flamed neck in a very vintage amber with maybe a hair more brown in order to draw out that grain nicely. We're going with the contours, the comfortable belly cuts, the forearm contours on the front, the what I call the neck heel relief area for a little bit greater access in there. We've got custom in-house lasered and etched plate with the serial number and the name of the guitar on there. We have an exposed tremolo spring cavity in here, and this is interesting. I like this look and I like the access, and so I build them this way. But I made, at the same time I made this carbon fiber Kevlar pickguard, I made a matching tremolo cover for it. But unless the purchaser of this guitar tells me I want it installed, I am not drilling holes in the back of this guitar. You know, but it will be in the case, and if you want to install it or want me to install it, I certainly would. But man, I love this look. You know, so that's the way it comes there. And there's the tuners that we already talked about. So that is the nerdy stuff of the Maximum Guitar Works Fiona in the candy apple red. SSS, obviously for the pickup combination, because I make other versions of pickup combinations on the Fiona guitar, and I call it the turbo model. Turbo model including every bell and whistle of electronics to include that 30 decibel MOSFET boost circuitry.
You heard it. It was fat, wasn't it?
Yeah, incredible. So that is the nerdy stuff. I hope you appreciate it. I'm going to hand this back over to Adam and maybe just go out in style with some more jamming.
All right, sounds like a plan, man. Yeah, I could play this thing all day. Gotta get in this again.
Thank you so much, Adam, for coming by.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
Yeah.